Hi, my name is Jurij and thank you for all the subscriptions, all the good comments and great wishes. I really appreciate that. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about the project, the frame of it, where to stage it, how I imagine it and everything. The main idea is very clear. As I mentioned last time, is to actually to join the dancers, the artists, the musicians, the RC flyers into one unique show that will be something new on the market. Regarding the theme, I chose a theme that I'm very familiar with. Top Gun for me represents the movie. From that movie on is the time that I remember that I fell in love with the flying and aviation and everything. So it kind of really sits deep in my heart, and it's something that I always wanted to a little bit explore, that thematic. It gives me a good ground because I know it scene by scene, from beginning to the end, from end to the beginning. I mean, I really have a lot of insights. I have read a little bit about it. I've seen documentaries behind the scenes of the movie. I have listened to Scott Ridley, who is the director of that movie, and his vision of it and everything. So I kind of know the idea behind it, and I think that that's very useful to start with. Basically, as I have said, the whole show, the intent of the show is to actually bring as many of those iconic scenes and of course the music that will actually put everything together, that will melt everything together in one piece. Constantly there will be changing of happening in the air and on the ground, where the dancers will be dancing in the air, where all the aerial stuff will happen. So I want to make it as dynamic as possible. There should be a very specific space where I would put it. It should be an airfield, but how I imagined, I have drawn, I sketched a little bit of a plan. Actually, the whole space it is put in into three different zones. So there is an action zone where all the action will happen. Then it's an audience zone where all the audience is gonna be, where all the RC pilots and dancers and everybody's gonna be. And then behind the audience, it's gonna be the runway when the models will be taking off and of course landing. So I called it the takeoff and the landing zone. Why I have sectioned in three pieces? Because of course the safety comes first in this kind of project. So this area where you see the audience, where is the sector A and the sector B of the audience, where is the control tower, and on the both ends it is the dancers place. It's going to be properly secured, it's going to be properly, so it is safe, so there will be net all around that area, so if it might come to some collision or something, so nothing really happens. So as well, the action zone, how everything will happen then in the first part. There was all the dancing, everything will happen here, and then there will be a fly zone that will happen a little bit more at the back. Here, because the planes are not as big. I mean, the models are 1.5 meters, so that's not a big model. So what I wanted to do is that we will have the limitation on the height of flying, and I think it's going to be probably around 50 to 80 meters. So it's going to be quite low flying, so that the people, when they go from the dancers up in the sky, they don't go so much up, so they what is happening. I want to have a lot of dynamic, so that once the dancers finish, immediately the plane come in, the model comes in and do its aerial choreography or whatever. and then it goes vice versa. I would like to, as I mentioned, incorporate all of those iconic scenes from the movie so that the people get the flavor of the movie, of that time, of the 80s, of everything. So the aerial figures as well as the dancing, it will be a little bit with this retro 80s feel to it. Of course, we want to bring some of the iconic, some of the maneuvers that they did in that movie. There is the inverted flight, where the F-14 flies inverted to MiG-28, which is a kind of iconic thing. There is as well the formation flying. If you remember at the end of the movie, almost at the credit times, when you have the song of the You Lost That Loving Feeling, and actually two planes fly side by side, wing by wing, into the sunset. I mean, that's a scene that of course is one of the beauties. Of course, there is the legendary roll from the carrier. There is as well the motorcycle bit when Tom Cruise, when he comes into the base, run with the motorcycle. There's quite a lot of motorcycle in. Definitely, I would like to bring a stuntman on the motorcycle, so somehow just to mix it up, just to put another spin on the whole show. As far as the dancing goes and dancing scenes, of course, you know, there is the love scene, the Take My Breath Away scene. I mean, and definitely I would like to bring some of the Latin American dancer, a couple maybe, and make it a little bit more of like an aerial kind of a choreography, where we a lot of like lifts, and it's gonna be, everything is gonna flow and have that kind of light feel to it, like in the movie was when they have that love affair between Kelly McGillis and Tom Cruise, and she's just in that, you know, you see those curtains flowing, and you see that she's just wearing that shirt on, and it's kind of a very flowy and light scene. So that's what we will be bringing into it. Definitely the hip hop dancers who would be bringing a little bit of that retro hip hop and jazz, dressed in all these jumpsuits, and somehow recreate that scene at the beginning of the movie. If you remember when the planes are taking off. Speaking of that scene, actually that was one of the intention when I have listened to Scott Ridley, who is the director of the movie. He actually said that actually what he wanted, his intention was to make a movie a little bit more darker. The beginning scene is kind of a statement to that, and that's what I would like to do as well. The plan is that the show would happen in the just after sunset, or in that twilight time. So in order to use as well the lighting and some of the pyrotechnics and everything, I think it will, and the smoke and everything, it will create that kind of feel, that dark feel to it. That is going to be a challenge, but hopefully something good will come out of it, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So be it. Basically, right now my plan is to find the spot actually where I could do this project, and with whom, because the project will, I'm presuming that it will take 30 to 45 minutes tops. So it needs to be incorporated in an either existing event, either this is an air show or is a social event, or we will make it as an event of its own, so that we'll bring some as well, some music, and maybe there will be an air show before, and then to finish it off, we will finish off with this project, with this show, and then go on into a concert or something like that. So that's basically how I imagine it. So we have possibilities. I know people who I want to talk with, and maybe who would like to cooperate with me. There will be 3 versions of show. There will be a short version of show, there will be a medium version and a long version of show, depending on the budget. By the way, I forgot, the whole scope of the show, there will be a crew of 20 people. There will be 8 dancers, 4 pilots, 2 crew member, director, assistant director, lighting technician, sound technician, stuntman, musician, actually guitarist. The date would be late August or September. And basically, that's it. That's how we're gonna do. That's how we're gonna roll, and then we'll see where we get from here. So hope you enjoyed this part of the video. I gave you a little bit of more details to it. Definitely we're gonna talk some more, and it's not gonna be just talking. I will show you some stuff. I will bring you some videos and everything, and we'll hit the ballroom and see the dancers and everything. So stay tuned. Those who still didn't subscribe, enjoy it and enjoy the ride. Thanks. Bye.